So as I continued to think about the idea that I was thriving and I was always at my best in beauty and order, I started to gather my examples and had so many examples from home decor, et cetera, et cetera. But I wanted to go bigger because maybe not everybody would relate to those. Let's go to creation. Let's go to nature. Okay. Why is it that people do their best writing, thinking, ideating in nature? For some reason, you booking that hotel in Costa Rica that overlooks the rainforest or whatever is making you at your best. You have ideas you've never had. You're thinking clearer. Everything about you is on 10. You feel inspired. And you're like, okay, well, call it, it's just the nature. No, it's the fact that nature is the most pure example of beauty and order. When you look at nature, it's objectively beautiful, right? Like you've got the river flowing and green lush grass and a mountain, and you've got all this beauty, the way the sunrise peeks over, like that is beautiful. Anybody could say that, see that, or say that, right? But then the order of this comes in the fact that the rivers flow downwards and the birds know where to be and the bees are working over here. And there's this system that's going in order and doesn't need you. It's operating all on its own. That is the order in nature, and the beauty is apparent. So when you're in that realm, when you're surrounded by that, you have no choice but to shift up. You have no choice but to be at your optimum, at your best, okay? So that's out in nature, okay? Then I was also thinking, let's keep thinking of examples. Let's go biblical. When we think about the Bible, Old Testament, God is building a temple. Now, from what we know, God could have said anything. He gave some instructions on what he wants to be happening in the temple. You guys do this. This is how I want this done. Order. There's order. There's systems, SOPs, right? Happening all over that place. But also, God was very clear that he wanted the best of the best artisans and craftsmen, and he wants rubies, and he wants this. He wants this place to look good. There's beauty and order. That is what God wanted created as his temple. So we've got the idea of nature, we've got biblical. Let's step back. I was thinking about just in my home. When I went and I got a interior designer and a decorator and, I'm getting all these things in my home that in my mind, I was like, I just want beauty. But I also had so much order. Everything had a place. Everything had a set system. We had drawers for this, cabinets for this. And as I saw myself investing, at some point I was like feeling guilty. I was feeling bad. I was like, maybe I shouldn't be spending on this. And I was like, no, you have to. Because every time you find a place in your home to create more beauty and order, everyone benefits. When guests come in, they're like, oh my gosh, this feels so peaceful and relaxing. The people who live in my home, me, my husband, we all have these corners of the house that feel so inviting and allow you to decompress and recharge. Those things are priceless. They allow you to be at your optimum. Now, the reason I'm talking about that as a personal stylist is because so many of my clients have order down pat. Okay? They have order. They have the discipline. They've got an executive assistant. They've got SOPs. They've got everything in this wheel that makes it, a machine. Order is their middle name. What they're missing, however, in this system or for their business or for their impact or for their growth or for them to be in their optimum is beauty. They don't have anything that's alluring, exciting, inviting. It's just order. And so I compared it to, order is like a bean stew. Bean stew, you're going to eat it. You're going to be filled. You're going to be content. You were hungry? No, you're not. And beauty is like cotton candy, right? On its own, You're going to eat cotton candy. You're going to be so excited. It looks so good. It's going to be sweet. It hits your tongue. And then you're like, I ate this whole little barrel and my stomach feels like there's nothing in there. Vanity. It's very light, right? On their own, both of them have pluses and minuses, right? But together, if you can fuse those two concepts together, now you've got something that is unbeatable because most people will never combine the two. Most people will over index in just one area and be missing what's beneath it. So you have the person who looks so good, but has no substance, has nothing really to offer. It's just shallow. And then you've got this person who is hardy, but is not enticing or alluring enough to the public. So they really never get the recognition or the placement or anything else that they really do deserve because they've worked for it, but they haven't packaged it right. As a personal stylist, I need so many more of you to understand that yes, you've done the hard work. Yes, you've put in the systems. Yes, you've put in the order. Yes, you have done all of that groundwork, but until you have packaging that is alluring, until you have the beauty aspect, you will always be underneath your optimum. Your impact will always be lower than it could be. Your level of stickiness. The stickiness that I talk about is the idea of being memorable to people, right? I just came from a conference and, during this conference, it's so funny. Afterwards, people were like, "Oh, you were at that conference." And I was like, "Yeah, I was at that conference. Were you there?" I didn't remember that person being there, but they remembered that I was there, and they remember what I wore, and they remember what I was talking about, but they didn't have anything sticky about them for me to remember them. Don't be that person. You're doing the work. You're doing the hard work. Add a little sazon, add a little seasoning, add a little beauty to what you are working on, and you're going to be at your optimum and you're going to be at your best. And I've been a personal stylist for over 10 years. And if you need direction, if you're like, Carla, I totally agree with what you're saying, I just don't know where to start, then I want to meet you in the messages, okay? I want to meet you below. Please sign up for number 1, your image audit. Let's start and see, where are you? Where are you? Are you at a 1? Are you at a 5? Are you at a 9? Maybe you're right there and you just need to get to your 10. But please reach out to someone who can help you get to your optimum instead of being a pot of bean stew. Until next time, toodles.